Hello student, welcome to my class for computer class. Okay, for class 11. Today student we are going to understand how to create a Fibonacci series. So first of all I will add the comment that is program for Fibonacci series. In this we will take a particular terms. So term if should from the user define, so it will better. So I'm going to ask to user please enter the number of term, which will definitely typecast in integer because term will be definitely in integer form. So as I'm using Python 2.7 version, so I will use raw input. Inside that I will ask the question to user please enter the number of terms, that may be number only. After that I will design, I'm to say I will take a two variable, okay, that will define the term 1 and term 2. So here term 1 will be and term 2 will be having different values, so 0 and 1. So here 0 term will be considered as t1, t1 will be t2. Okay, then after that I will count the particular number of term also programmatically. So what I'm going to do, I will use the counter variable whose initial value definitely 0, and then after that I will check whether the user has given the valid value or not. Suppose that by default term is that is 0 1. Okay, so if user enter the 0, 0 will print 2, then 0 1. If user enter what thing 0 or lesser than 0, so I will show the message that is error message to user. So what I will going to do, so I will check whether its term is lesser than or equals to 0. If it is, then I will say to user simply in message please enter a positive number, definitely. Otherwise I can say simply if it is elif, definitely if it is terms is double equals to than 1, then I can say only two level of the particular series. For example, print, simply I will print a message Fibonacci series definitely by /n. Then after that I will say terms, at last print what thing term 1. Or I can say in else part I will use this particular program through the print series. Okay, Fibonacci series, afterward it will show you in a while loop. So what I'm going to do, student, I'm going to use a while loop to run the particular number of sequence if count is lesser than term, because count should be definitely lesser than this one. Then after that I'll simply print first a message that want to say term 1, and then after that comma, because continuity of line. So I will use temporary variable, as you know the swapping method. So t1 plus t2 it will hold. Suppose that t1 is 0 and t2 is 1, so it will consider 1. Then after that here a comment I will place here, new temp or term by swapping method. Okay, in this way I will use t1 equals to t2. At last t2 will be definitely term. or temp, because we are using temp, that's why. And then after that, count plus equals to 1. This is shortened notation. To count a particular, I will add here the command counting number of terms by counter variable. So now we are going to just run it to check whether any error in our program or not. So simply it is Fibonacci series, and now there is some invalid syntax on that, that is term. The spelling is TERMS. I have to use comma to separate it. Now you can see the question has been arise, how many numbers you want. Suppose that user enter only 1, so it will show you 0 and 1 because only number of ones terms is there. And next, suppose that if user enters 0, so you can see that please enter a positive number, or if user enter a particular number -1, so it will say the same answer. Okay, I mean to say response. Now we are going testing the term 2 and so on. Suppose that term 2, so here 0 1 it will come. Okay, and if it will give you the number of terms 5, so now you can see 0 1 1 2 3. So how many number of terms you can count? Just 0, that is 1 2 3 4 and 5. Same way, if we are going to just run another one, 8 terms, so now you can see that 1 2 3 4 5 6 7 8. So student, we are going to just understand it, what is going on this program. So first of all, we have asked to user please enter the number of terms, which is definitely in integer format, I mean to say in number. Then after that, we have assigned two variable as term1 and term2, I mean to say t1 and t2, whose value are 0 and 1, whereas 0 is assigned to term1, 1 is assigned to term2. And we are using here count, because to count the number of terms we need a counter variable, that's why initial value will be definitely 0. Here first of all, we are going to just check the condition whether user enter the valid number or not. Suppose that user enter the -1 or 0, it will definitely give the answer in the form of please enter the positive number. Else, I am to say, if this condition is not true, then suppose that and user enter the value like 1, so number of term is only 1. So here we can say that Fibonacci series is, this one thing will be confuse you, so we will do this one. Okay, so series is this one thing only, term 1. Okay, term 1 definitely 0. Okay, then after that, if user enter more than 2 value, I am to say more than 1 value, 3 4 5 2 whatever, so it will, these two condition will be false, and at last else condition will true. Okay, so in else condition, I am to say in else situation, the Fibonacci series will print from beginning. Okay, it will print only the particular 0 and 1 also first, because term 1 also. Okay, and we are going to just traverse through the while loop. Okay, so this condition will consider as true until this particular count is lesser than terms. So count, suppose that first time is 0. Okay, term is suppose that 5. Okay, so in this condition t1 will print. So before the first t1 is 0, definitely it will print t1. Then this comma represent the next number will come after this particular same line. And temp variable we have taken to total these two numbers, suppose that like this two. Okay, so here t1 plus t2, it means to say 0 plus 1 will be considered stored in temp. And now we are going to just transfer the term2 value to t1. It means to say t2 is considered as 1. So now t1 will be definitely 1. Both are 1 in this line. Okay, in next line t2 will be updated by new total value, that is term 1 and t2. So t2 equals to temp. Temp means definitely 0 plus 1 will be 1. So now count will be also increase, and now consider the count is 1, so loop will be continue in next iteration. So definitely 1 is lesser than 5, so this process will continue until the count is greater or equivalent to terms. I hope student you have learned today Fibonacci series.